This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. And welcome to a shorter video than I wanted to get out today. I really didn't have a chance at all to record the Spider-Man one. I can maybe get out next week, but I also do need to work on my pretty big May the 4th video, so I might just dedicate 2 weeks to that. And this one is just basically a concept I thought of when I started thinking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is how would they have killed the Justice League if they didn't have access to Batman's contingency plans or Lex Luthor? So basically, we're going to act like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is set in a non multiversal story. They only have one Brainiac to kill, but also they don't have any access to technology they could get from Lex Luthor from Earth 2, and they do not have access to any of Batman's contingency plans. So I'm going to look at a strategy to take down Green Lantern, Flash, and Superman. I've already talked about Batman and how they should have changed his boss fight, and then they don't fight Wonder Woman, so we don't really need to worry about that. I'll be assuming everything else from the game goes the exact same way. They have to take them down. Well, they can take down Green Lantern or Flash in whatever order, since they don't have to rely on getting those specific technologies, but Superman will be last. So let's go straight into it, starting off with who I think would be probably the easiest to go up against in terms of having different strategies, which is Green Lantern. And since they won't have the Sinestro Core batteries to go and break through his constructs, the best way to go up against Green Lantern is to try and break his willpower, but also distract him. So I think the best way for them to do this is for Harley Quinn to develop fear gas to use it against him to try and break his will, but also have as many Argus agents as possible coming in and attacking Green Lantern, and this will get him distracted so he won't be able to concentrate just on getting to the Suicide Squad. And even if it's in the Suicide Squad themselves who give the killing blow, there's no way he could go up against an army with the fear gas going into him. And that's the simplest way to get him out. And there's probably other ways, but I think of everything they could do, this is the simplest and most realistic since Harley Quinn does know how to make the fear gas, as established in this, but also they do have a good amount of Argus soldiers that have made it to Metropolis, so they definitely will be losing some people here, but this is probably the best strategy to take them out. So, yeah, that's honestly a pretty solid one. Now let's go and move on to Flash, who's going to be a little more complicated, but still pretty simple based on knowing his abilities. And going against Flash, you just simply need all of Mr. Freeze's technology. Aaron Cash, who should still work for the GCPD, or if not, have connections to them. Since Gordon is mayor of Gotham, he could easily contact him if he really needs it. And they can bring all of Mr. Freeze's technology to go up against Flash. And this would work very similar to Captain Cold, using freeze-based attacks to slow down his movements. They could even use the device Nora was held in, which we did see in the GCPD evidence lockup during the end of night, to create a kind of Arctic blast like Mr. Freeze did when he was trying to recreate the conditions to freeze Nora, and that could help go and make things colder so Flash could move slower, and using various versions of Mr. Freeze's gun, maybe even freeze blasts and a bunch of other just different technology that they confiscated from Freeze over the years would be used to slow down the Flash, so he is just slow enough for them to go and be able to kill him. And while this is definitely going to be harder to do than getting Green Lantern, I still think it is possible and is a solid enough strategy. But this is probably the only strategy they really have because there really is no other way for them to be able to keep up with him. And it doesn't really seem that the Speed Force gadget that Captain Boomerang has is going to be able to have him fighting at the Flash's level. Our final one is more of a this is probably going to work, but most likely get them all killed. But basically, if they didn't have something like Gold Kryptonite, which was created specifically to kill this enhanced Superman, they were probably going to be losing this fight anyway. So the best possible chance they have is to use redstone radiation and any kryptonite that Amanda Waller has. Yes, the kryptonite isn't going to be as effective against him, but it's still showing that it'll at least penetrate his skin. So I think that the best possible strategy they have is to actually do a King Shark recommended, make a kryptonite sword, and use that, possibly even taking it from Wonder Woman after she's died, to go and alongside the red sun radiation, weaken Superman just enough to decapitate him because it doesn't really matter how enhanced he is, he's gonna be dead if he doesn't have a head. But yeah, honestly, that's probably the best strategy. And if Waller has no kryptonite, or they don't know about red sun radiation, then there's really nothing they could do since I'm not really sure how they were planning to take him out originally since she had to have kryptonite because there's no way that she would expect them to be able to take down Superman without it, and probably just didn't mention it after they realized that kryptonite won't work on him. But yeah, those are probably the best strategies they could have used, and this could have, definitely taken them out. I mean, not even as effective as these plans that were set up by Batman and Lex Luthor to be able to go and specifically take down the League members with a lot more of their prep time or specifically tied to their genetics. So honestly, I think that this isn't the best ways they could have done it, but do you think there's any other ways? Please leave it in the comments, and I'll see you on the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.